Hey guys, it's Si from SiNi Software. Today I'm going to talk about Forensic, which is our scene checker tool. Well, it's a scene checker and repair tool. So first off, I had a lot of people saying, where is it? You can make a hotkey for it as well, but it is found as a utility plugin. So if you were to go to your hammer and go to your configure button sets, and scroll down to SiNi Software. There's two things here. One is Forensic, which I already have at the top, and the other is SiNi Config. And I'll explain that one at the end of this video, actually. So let me close this up. What we're going to do is open up Forensic. And Forensic has, for right now, and this is going to keep, the evolution of this tool is going to keep going. We're going to keep maintaining it. We're going to keep adding things to it because it actually works in our pipeline as well. The inspiration for this was Zorb. Zorb is a great tool, but it didn't repair anything. It just found everything. And it was missing some interesting stuff that really causes havoc on simulations and sometimes render times for light calculations. So first thing to say about this tool is if you happen to have it open and you do open a new scene, it's going to close up right away. The reason is because it already has data about that scene, and if you were to open up a new scene and say repair something, it's that data is not there. So what we're doing is on any open scene, we're just going to close up Forensic. So first thing to know is this is just this came directly out of CAD, and it's probably going to have some blocks and some other issues into it. So we're just going to do a quick scan, and we'll see we've got a couple issues with it. So we have CAD blocks, which you can select them all here, and then the X button will completely repair them or delete them, and depending on what the object is. CAD blocks, we're deleting them because you don't need them. You just want the original objects. Some other stuff, so empty layers, want to get rid of those. Scaled objects. We have two sort of scaled objects. We have negative scaled and scaled objects. And negative scaled wreaks havoc on lights generally, if you have negative scaled lights. Objects themselves, if you were to put a symmetry on it, it would actually give you a negative scaled object, or well, say if you mirrored something that's scaled. So not really worried about negative scaled stuff. We're just worried about all sorts of scaled stuff. So we select those. They all are spline objects, so we can just do a repair on those, and it gets rid of all your scaled objects. And what that actually does is runs through, puts an object reset on it, and then collapses the stack. So if you do have stuff with modifiers that you do want to keep, you might not want to scale everything. You might want to select them, isolate them, and take a look. Now, the last thing with this scene that it seems to have is empty objects. So let's just select those, and I'll isolate those for a minute. And you can see that there's, nothing there. Even if I unhide all, you're going to have no objects. So they're not attached to anything. So these are just empty objects. And in this case, because they're shapes, they're just objects that someone has selected a spline and deleted all the knots. And it's just the node itself that's there. Not too bad in most cases, but you can have geometry that you're doing sim calculations and it'll crash your sim or take a really long time. Also, some light calculations, it's going to try and figure out some lighting with it, and that'll take some time as well because it's an empty object. It's trying to figure out what it is. So you can just get rid of those. The other one we have here is empty mod. And what that is it's an object that actually probably had some knots or verts or faces before someone put a modifier on it. And at the point of at the top of the modifier stack, now it's an empty object. So it's just something to sort of catch. So that's pretty much like a little quick look at our forensic tool. The other thing, what I'll do is I'll open up a bigger scene in a different video. But I sort of just wanted to go over like what sort of stuff this does. It's pretty much a scene checker and repair tool. The modifier side of it, I'll go over in a bigger scene. But like I said, this is always going to be a free tool. We're going to keep maintaining it. So any suggestions you guys out there have, we'd appreciate hearing from you guys. The last one that I did say I would talk about, and this is SiNi Configure. And the only reason this is here is if you were to and this works for opening your Decipher as well, because that's the only way you're going to be able to open your Decipher. If you have this set as auto log when startup, you'll probably never see it again. But if this happens to go off the screen, say you have had 3 monitors, this was on one of the monitors, and you remove one, now you work with 2. That's how windows get lost, because they're opening up on a screen that you don't have anymore. And what this will do is this will reset its position. So if it gets lost on a different screen, you can reset that. So that's just what the SiNi config does. It's not a complete, it's not a real great plugin out there. It's just actually a little repair and stuff that we figured out that people might need. So thanks for watching, and check back all the time, because we're going to keep having updates for Forensic. And check the other videos, because we're actually I'm just going to do a video on a bigger scene, and we'll sort of go through. I'll talk about all the different objects in this. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers. Bye.